Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Rabbi.
You're learning Mishnah Yevamos, Parak Gimel, chapter 13, up to Mishnah Yud. Now, Mishnah Yud is going to be continuing with the different possibilities of the case that we spoke about before, where a person was married to two wives, and all the different variables about what happens when you have both of them being rabbinic marriages, but of the same type or of different type. And what's going to happen now, we're going to discuss what happens when one of them is a d'oraisa marriage, and one is a d'rabbanan marriage. So Mishnah Yud, pikachas v'chareshes, if this man was married to a regular woman and a deaf mute, the regular woman that he's married to is a d'oraisa marriage. The deaf mute that he's married to is a rabbanan marriage. He dies without children. So his brother-in-law goes and cohabits with the regular wife, and that regular wife becomes his Yevama, right? He did Yibam on her. She becomes his wife. Now he went in. Now once he does that, the halacha is, once he does that, he's not allowed to do anything with the other wife. Once you do Yibam with one wife, the other wife is no more. There's no more Yibam bond. There's no more Zika, and he's not allowed to do anything with her. Nor is his brother allowed to do anything with her. But what happened was, he then went and he cohabited with the other wife, the deaf mute, who was only married midrabanan. Or his brother cohabited with the deaf mute. He does not in any way invalidate the marriage of the regular wife to the Yavim, to the brother who did Yibam on her. Because the marriage that he did on the Pekachas on the regular woman was a Torah marriage, was a Torah Yibam, and that knocks off anything from the Chareshes, from the deaf mute woman that was rabbinically married, and therefore whatever they do with her afterwards has no Yibam bearing whatsoever. It doesn't have any kind of marriage meaning whatsoever, and the woman that he did Yibam on remains his wife, and there's no problem. But now, what if the case was the other way around? That the Yavim, the brother performed Yibam, he cohabited with the Chareshes first, which means that he first performed Yibam midrabanan. And then he went and he cohabited with the regular wolf, with the regular woman. Or the brother went and cohabited with the Pekachas, with the other wife, the regular wife. Now, in this case, we got a problem, because the marriage, the Yibam that was done with the Chareshes, with the deaf mute, which was only a rabbinic Yibam, is not going to knock off the Yibam bond, the Yibam obligation on the regular wife, which is from a Torah marriage. So now, whether he or his brother goes and cohabits with the regular wife, they have actually that wife actually has Yibam done to her. That's where the Torah is said to do Yibam, because she was married to his brother according to Torah law. So really, according to Torah law, Yibam has been done with her. All right, so now we got a problem. We've got two women here. Both of them, Yibam was done on them, which should now forbid the other one, because the co-wife, after Yibam is done with one wife, the co-wife is forbidden. And therefore we say, Pasal as hachareshes. He has invalidated the deaf mute. Meaning, the marriage that originally started with the chareshes is now invalidated. Because once he went and he did Yibam once he went and cohabited with the other one, and that was actually a Torah fulfillment of Yibam, that's the one that actually has the power to knock off the other one. Not the rabbinic Yibam to knock off it. So therefore it really comes out that the real Yibam was done by the second cohabitation, or by the brother's cohabitation with the Pekachas, with the regular wife. That now makes the other wife forbidden, and he's got to give her a divorce. The same thing, really, you've got an issue with the fact that midrabanan, when the Chareshes was married, which now created a prohibition on the other wife, that created a prohibition on her midrabanan, but it created a prohibition on her because there was a yibam done on the other wife, and my understanding is that he can't remain married to her either. He's got to divorce her. But the point is, though, that his Yibam, the second act, is going to validate the first act, because the second act was a Torah fulfillment of Yibam, while the first one was only rabbinic. So that's this Mishnah. Let's do the next Mishnah, which is just another variable of what we've been talking about. Mishnah Yud Aleph, Mishnah 11. Let's say the case is a Gedolah Katana. Let's say the combination here of one being married according to Torah law, one being married according to rabbinic law is because one is an adult and one's a minor. Okay, before the case was that one was a regular wife, the other one was a deaf mute. That's what made one a Torah marriage and the other one a rabbinic marriage. Here, what makes the Torah marriage is the fact that one wife is an adult and the rabbinic marriage is one of them is a minor who didn't have a father. Her mother or brother has married her off. And the husband dies, leaving no children. By Yavam ala Gedolah. So the Yavam, the brother, went and cohabited with the adult. By doing so, he fulfilled Yibam. She is his wife. V'chazer uba ala Ktana. And then he went and he cohabited with the younger one, which he was not allowed to do, but he did it anyway. Oishba achiv ala Ktana. Or the brother cohabited with the minor that he wasn't allowed to do either, because once a yibam is done to one of the wives, the other wife is forbidden on any of the brothers, but he did it anyway. Like paslas hagadolah, he has not invalidated the adult wife because the adult wife's yibam knocked off the yibam connection of the katana, which was only a rabbinic connection. And when they go in and cohabit with her, it's just an act of cohabitation. It has no yibam bearing whatsoever, and therefore it does not affect the gedolah, the first wife, who had yibam done on her according to Torah law. But now, by Yavam ala Ktana, let's say the case was that the brother cohabited with the minor. He did yibam midrabanan on the minor who was married to the brother originally according to rabbinic law. V'chazer uba ala Gedolah, and then he went and he cohabited with the adult wife, which he was not supposed to. Oishba achiv ala Gedolah, or his brother cohabited with the adult wife, which he wasn't supposed to, but they did it anyway. But now we got a problem again because the katana's marriage was only rabbinic, so the yibam done on her was only rabbinic. The Gedolah, her marriage was a Torah marriage, and therefore anybody who does something to her, whether it's the Yavim who did Yibam on the minor or any of the other brothers, they have actually performed Yibam now because her marriage was a Torah marriage, and the marriage that was the Yibam that was done to the rabbinic wife isn't going to be able to knock off the Yibam bond to the Gedolah, to the adult wife who was a Torah wife, who has a Torah bond of Yibam. So now when any of them go and cohabit with her, they have now performed a Torah Yibam on her, which actually forbids the other one. So now the other one is forbidden because of the Yibam on the Gedolah. That's a Torah prohibition. The other one, the Gedolah, the one that Yibam was done to Daraisa is forbidden because of rabbinic prohibition of the Yibam done to the minor. And therefore, what do we say here? Pasala Saktana. So again, let me read, if I make sure I read it. But Yavam ala Ktana, if the Yavam cohabited with the minor, v'chazar first, and then after that, he cohabited with the adult wife, or his brother cohabited with the adult wife, paslas a katana. That's going to invalidate, the katana is going to validate the minor wife, because the real Yibam was done on the Gedolah, and that forbids the minor. Now, at the same time, as we just said, the minor's rabbinic marriage, which now meant it was a rabbinic yibam, actually makes the wife that had real yibam on her forbidden according to rabbinic law. Because according to rabbinic law, there was a yibam, and that according to rabbinic law should now forbid the other wife. So they're both forbidden. So now we have the difference in this last case more than the cases before. Rabbi Lazar said, we teach the katana to do miyan on him. Meaning, even though the brother actually cohabited with her and did a yibam on her and actually married her, but again, only according to rabbinic law, Rebbe Lezer says, you know what? The same way that a minor can refuse her husband, she can refuse the yavim. She can also now do a miyan, a refusal, on the marriage of yibam done by the surviving brother, because since the marriage started off, this marriage of Yibam is a result comes through the original marriage to the brother who died. That marriage was only rabbinic. That marriage she could have refused. So now this marriage that comes about through that she could also refuse. Now, if she refuses, the adult wife can stay married. Because as we said before, once a katana does miyan, once she does the refusal, she retroactively nullifies the marriage. It makes it as if she was never married. If she was never married, then the gedolah, the adult, that a Torah yibam was done on her, can stay married. So Rebbe Lezer says that's what you should do in this case. in order to preserve the yibum that was done according to Torah law to the adult wife, which according to rabbinic law shouldn't have been done, but it was done, and it worked because nothing knocked off the Torah bond to the brother. So now the problem is, but there was already a rabbinic yibum done on the minor first, and that forbids the adult according to rabbinic law because there was a rabbinic yibum done, and therefore the other wife should be forbidden. Says Rebbe Elazar, we shouldn't allow that to happen. We shouldn't allow that to remain. We shouldn't allow that the rabbinic yibum on the minor should make it that the Torah yibum has to be, so to speak, he has to give her again. He can't stay married with her. That's not appropriate. Therefore, he says, what you tell the Kana to do is, tell her to do miyan on the oven. Tell her to do miyan on the brother who did yibum on her. She could have done yibum to his brother who she was first married to. She could do miyan on him, that his whole marriage comes about through the brother. And by doing that, that will preserve the yibum that was done to the adult. And the Bartunera says the halach is like Rebbe Elazar. Then in this case, we would tell her to do miyan, to do the refusal on her on the yibum that was done by her husband's brother. Okay, now, all right. Here now we're starting. Actually, so the Chofetz Chaim, the Sefer Chofetz Chaim, is divided into two sections: Hilchos Lashon Hara, the laws of Lashon Hara, which according to technical definition is to speak badly about someone else. And now he's going to talk about rechilas. Rechilas means when you tell someone what someone else did to them. That is the definition of rechilas. Rechilas means that if I tell you what someone did to you, that's rechilas. It's a different form of Lashon Hara, but that is, when the Lashon Hara takes that form, it's called rechilas. If a person meragal, that means you tell someone, you spied on someone, you go ahead as if you spy on someone and then relate it back. You go ahead and tell people what someone else did to them, transgresses the prohibition, as it says, you shall not go as a peddler amongst your people. That's what a peddler does. Peddler goes ahead, at least the original peddlers, they picked up stories from one place, spread it to another place, and that is what a person is doing now when he tells someone what someone else did to him. It's the same prohibition as Lashon Hara, but this is where this prohibition is included. This is a very great sin, and it actually has the power to cause the death of many people. And this is why, right next to where the Torah says, do not go as a rachel, don't go as a peddler, don't tell other people about what others did to them, right after the Torah says, do not stand by the blood of your brother. The juxtaposition of the two laws, the two prohibitions, is to say that the first one can bring to the other one. You make sure you don't speak about to people what others did to them, so as not to be standing by the blood of your friend. Say ulamad. Okay, we'll continue this tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Rabbi.